everybody. My name is Lloyd Knox.
And I'm Ivy Escándalo.
And you are now tuned in to the first official HitSquad Podcast. And what you're listening to right now is a song called Runaway by a very talented individual by the name of Double A, an Inland Empire native.
Cast your fears aside, eat me, enjoy the ride. I see you open mind, my turn to show you mine. Don't look back, walk the line, take my hand, you'll be fine, baby, 'cause you're mine. I taste your lips of wine in a brief history of time.
So we're not really going to get into too many topics today. We're just going to be getting into one specific topic, is the beginning of HitSquadTv and how it started. When we had gotten together, I had known that she played roller derby. I don't think she was playing for a team at that time. And if I'm not mistaken, she was recovering, or she had just got done recovering from a knee injury. And she had invited me to go to a scrimmage that was held at, I think it's called Stardust.
Stardust, yes.
Stardust in San Bernardino. They were having a scrimmage, and she had invited me. And I was just pretty much sitting at the sidelines, and I was just watching. I was just intrigued by the formations that the blockers were going, what pretty much the jammer would do. I had a really cool time. I think it was only a 2-hour scrimmage. It was held at nighttime.
It was a twisted scrimmage, which means they had really crazy jams. They had a wheel in the middle, and it would be anything from a reverse jam, which you go the opposite way the whole time, or a 5-minute jam. No stopping, no lead jammer, it's just going at it. And your penalties, I believe, was like doing sit-ups.
I think it was February or March of 2014 when Ivy showed me a bad game, a Bay Area Derby. She sat me down. She says, "Hey, I want you to watch this." And I agreed. I sat there. We watched it online. And I think it was like the first 3-4 minutes that I popped up and I told Ivy, I'm not going to lie, I'm really bored right now. And it's no disrespect to anybody that was competing in the sport. Don't bring out your pitchforks and your fire yet. The reason why I got bored was because of the camera work. It's shot at a high angle, and it's only one camera. Now, for someone that's never seen the sport in person, if I'm trying to introduce this sport to my friend, the first thing that I would want to do is to bring him or her to a bout so they can actually experience it, because it's a complete different energy from when you're watching it online to when you're watching it live. But if I only had an internet clip or anything like that, I'd legitimately be nervous because it was just shot at a high point, high angle. It just didn't bring me in. And the first question I asked was, why don't they have the cameras on the floor? Matter of fact, probably to improve it, why don't they have, I mean, I know it costs money too, but 4 different video cameras at each turn. Maybe even a 5th one, putting it inside on the actual track where they build those 2 squares for the photographers to stand there. They could have a handy cam and be able to film and really take advantage of the technology of zooming in and zooming out. But that's neither here or there. That might be a conversation that we'll have later on down the line on a podcast. But going back, I told her that I got really bored, and I told her, like, where are the highlights? I want to see the highlights. I want to see close-ups. I want to see the athlete's face. She was talking about Demand Riot. She seemed like a really cool person, but I can't tell who it is. I don't know who it is. I mean, you could tell by jersey number, but WIFTA or the MRDA, MRDA, can take an example from the NFL, from the NBA, from the NHL, the professional leagues, and take a couple of notes from how they do things and how they introduce the product to potential buying customers, from potential fans. Because if they want to grow, they're going to have to grab the attention of the casual fan. You know, people are very fickle. If you don't show them something interesting in the first minute or two, they'll turn you right off. I think the next roller derby experience that I had was Thanks Scrimmage 2014. Ivy introduced Temetra OU1, which she has two amazingly talented skaters by the name of Tristan Shout and the person in which we actually strapped on the GoPro to, Bad Little Jamma. Yeah, so we strapped on the GoPro onto her. She gave us fantastic and amazing footage. And the other person that we strapped on the GoPro to was Rainbow Smasher. And I got to meet Quiet Riot for the very first time. So we put the video together in about a 2-day span, and that officially became our very first Hit Squad video. After that video, we went to go film Crash in the New Year. I got the pleasure to meet the Ill Reverend Mike, very first time. At that scrimmage, I now recognize a lot of more people than what I did with the previous scrimmages. I remember seeing Rizzo. Evo was there. Anya Tushy, Payback, Boo. So moving forward from there, I think my real introduction to high competitive roller derby was Jantastic.
Fantastic, yes.
It was the first annual Jantastic that they were holding as a competition on the bank track. And you had 6 teams, if I'm not mistaken.
Was this your first time seeing bank track as well?
This was my very first time seeing bank track, and it was an experience that I will never forget. It was absolutely incredible. I think there at the event, although she wasn't skating, we got to meet Nova. We got to see Quiet Riot again, Aaron Jackson. And then it was so cool seeing the fact that one of the teams was called My Little Ponies. Like, come on, you can't beat that.
My Little Ponies, yes.
You just can't beat that name. So we got to film both days, and you have to understand how intimidating it was to be there with not only these incredible athletes but these photographers. I think Grant Palmer was there. Obviously Tristan King was there. And they have their cameras that they're known for using, and then you have us with a GoPro on what people now know as a selfie stick. And but the only cool thing, the cool advantage that we had with the GoPro was we were able to put it up and get these really cool high angles. From Jantastic, I caught the roller derby bug. I really wanted to continue filming roller derby. And at that moment, I really wanted to start investing in getting a better camera. We got to film a lot more teams. Badfish, got to film OC, Beach Cities Roller Derby, San Diego Roller Derby, Hidden City, San Diego Derby Dolls, Yucktown, Dirt City, the Foothill Foxy Flyers. We got to film all these fantastic, amazing teams, and every bout that I went to, seeing the intensity from a bout, it just made me start falling in love and started understanding the reason why Ivy loved this sport so much. Why so many people love this sport so much, but specifically why Ivy loved this sport so much. We bought the second GoPro, and we only did it once, but the dual GoPros, which Ivy, I know, wanted to use it more often, but by that point, I was already sold on the fact that I wanted to get a better camera.
It's just the point of view of the skaters and how you get into it. It was one point that I had never seen before, and it was amazing. And of course, scrimmages was the only logical way of doing it because it's not ranked, it's not, you know, going, oh, it didn't fall. Thank goodness, did it fall? I think it did fall.
It fell once.
But imagine that in a bout and causing points or something. So scrimmages were so much fun to be able to strap the GoPro and be able to get these angles that nobody else could, and it was just amazing.
Yeah, and that's what made us stand out from everybody else, obviously, that point of view. I believe we used the GoPro at least 2 more times, and then finally we invested in what we have now, which is the Sony 4K, which I absolutely fell in love with. And the first bout we got to use it on was San Diego Roller Derby. Starlets was hosting the Angel City Shore Shots. From the moment I started filming, I fell in love with the camera. I thought that this is exactly what I wanted. This is the ESPN highlight that I want to do. I was trying to do the best I can. We tried to do the best we can with the GoPros, but the fact of the matter is, it was what Ivy was saying. It was such a wide screen shot. You couldn't see a lot of things. We were basically back to Bay Area and being at such a high point, and you're not able to see anything. Now, getting this camera, we get those cool close shots. It was just filming.
I miss them.
We got to film all of Beach City's home bouts, interleague bouts.
Yes.
And those were a lot of fun. Ivy got to film the majority of them. I think I only got to film one of them, but it was just so intense. It was absolutely intense.
The crowd they bring, like, that's what you want to see when you go see a bout, is the energy of people cheering, is, the skaters going hard. And that's what you want to see.
Playing to the crowd.
Yes.
Playing to the crowd is something that I think a lot of athletes are genuinely missing. Beach City's crowd should be the standard for everybody else as far as crowd participation, bringing in the crowd, getting the crowd excited, giving the crowd a reason to cheer. I think Beach City's is phenomenal for that. During the time of December of 2014, all the way up to February of 2016, we put our nose to the ground and we grinded. It was literally every single weekend we were out somewhere filming. Whether we were going to San Diego, whether we were going to Los Angeles, whether we were going to Florida, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Mexicali.
Mexicali, that was actually, I think, my first introduction to men's roller derby.
Oh, yes. Men's derby. Amazingness.
Yeah. And it was for the Baja Championship, and there was 4 teams competing for the Baja Cup. It was the Aftershocks, it was Wheels of Mayhem, it was the Minotauros, and Disorder. So, after that, I believe that was in May, we applied for RollerCon to go there and to film. I have to tell you, and Ivy was telling me on the way there, like, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of partying, but you're going to get to see the highest level of competition from all over the world. We got to see G.I. Joe there at RollerCon. Really cool guy.
Amazing photographer.
Amazing photographer as well, yes. We got to see a lot of fantastic bouts, and the ones that stuck out to mind were the ones that were the most popular ones, of course. Chippendales versus
Magic Mike.
Caulksuckers versus Regime. Antics versus Rydell.
Rydell.
And not only the bouts, but seeing the courses, the classes that they were having. The classes that was held by Dirty Deborah, Quadzilla. I think even
Jackie Daniels.
Jackie Daniels had one. Demanda Riot had a class as well. I didn't get to
Scald
see
Eagle.
it. And Scald Eagle. My first experience of RollerCon makes me want to make sure that I go back every single year because it's just so much fun. Passing July, passing RollerCon, we caught word that Hockey Honey was putting together the State Wars Team California, and I think me and Ivy automatically agreed that we have to be there to represent Team California as their videographer. We asked Hockey Honey, she said yes, and I think we booked our flight in September. We booked it really early because we wanted to show our level of commitment. And we also wanted to film a documentary. So we went to go do Thanks Scrimmage 2015, but by that point, we were already focused on Florida. We're so focused on Florida. We're like, let's get it on.
Counting down the days to Florida.
And I didn't realize how the level of competition was going to be out there. I have to tell you, and I think I could speak on Ivy's behalf as well, we pretty much want to thank Team California for accepting us into that Team California family because, you know, we weren't there as skaters. We weren't there competing with them.
We weren't there as officials.
We weren't there as anything other than just filming them. And we were the creepers, just pretty much with the camera, just following them around. But they accepted us and made us feel like family. And
still do.
And they still do to this very day. Anybody that was on Team California wearing that white or black jersey, every time they see us, they come and they show us love. And we show them love right back. And we thank you for that amazing experience and the amazing memories that you guys gave us that we'll never forget. So enough with all that touchy stuff. And we're not going to get into the playing too much because we're going to let the documentary tell the story. But Team Texas fought so hard that entire day. I think they played 3 bouts before they got to the championship bout.
Back to back, yeah.
Back to back. They had to defeat a gruesome level of pain that I don't think most of us would be able to handle. 3 bouts and then having to play the championship bout with only 2 hours rest? Oh, come on.
Yeah. Colorado, which was defending champion, I think they didn't play a game.
They only played once
in the morning, so they got to rest, and it was intense.
That's no shot at Team Colorado. They earned that right to only play once.
Exactly. Yes.
So, Ivy was up in the stands, getting the opportunity to watch and actually experience the bout as it was going on. I was on the floor filming, so I didn't really get an opportunity to really, truly experience it and watch it and appreciate it. But I could tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, and babies that are listening out there, that was by far the best bout that I have ever witnessed, period. It was magical. It was amazing.
It was emotion. It was passion. It was all for the glory.
It was an NBA final. It was a Super Bowl. Team Colorado, these skaters have been skating with each other for years, I believe. And then you had Team Texas with recognizable names like Jackie Daniels,
Smarty Pants, Death by Chocolate.
Death by Chocolate was the most fierce competitor out there. If you go back, which I suggest you do, go back and watch the State Wars finals that we have on our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Watch DBC. There was one particular point where she was staring down a particular Colorado skater, just looked her dead in the eyes, hit her with all her might, and then kept looking at her. She never lost contact. Matter of fact, I don't even think she blinked. She just looked right at her, and even after she passed her, she kept staring at her and then turned away. And then she went through an entire pack, and she went in forward and she came out of the pack backwards, basically waving at them with her fingers like bye-bye. That's the level of amazingness that I think skaters are missing. That it's that confidence. I realize that we have to be humble, but there's nothing wrong with playing to the crowd. Give the crowd something to cheer about, to get behind you. Another person that we forgot to mention was Freight Train. Freight Train, absolutely amazing. And the end result was Colorado got to repeat as champions. Undefeated, too. I don't think they've lost in the past 2 years that State Wars has been going on. They're undefeated. So after State Wars, we did Crash in the New Year 2015. We got to see a couple of Team California skaters. Hugs, high fives, everything. I think Boo even gave us a Aftershock sweater there.
Yes.
Shout out to Boo for that one. No mayonnaise. After that, we did Jantastic. We were excited about Jantastic because this time we were equipped with a better camera. And unfortunately, in the beginning of the year, I fractured my leg. I was on crutches. I couldn't move. I couldn't do much. I was basically pointless. But I did not want to miss Jantastic. And if you guys ever been to
The Dollhouse.
If you guys ever been to the Dollhouse, San Diego, it's stairs. I sacrificed so much that day jumping up with one foot to get up there.
Thank goodness they were rails. There was some rails.
Yes, there was. I thought the entire time, as soon as I hurt my leg, I thought of two things. I was like, I can't work. And then the other one was, I'm going to miss Jantastic. I didn't want to miss Jantastic. And I thought the entire time there wasn't any rails until we got there. And I looked, I'm like, oh my goodness, they have rails. Yes. Ivy got to film the entire, which I'm jealous of. She got to film all of Jantastic. So when you go back and watch all the Jantastic videos, the 2 videos, 3 videos actually, it was all Ivy. That camera work, phenomenal. I don't know if she thinks I'm joking, but I don't think I could have got half of those shots that she got. It was mind-blowing. It was incredible. After that, we started filming a lot more Angel City. We finally got an opportunity to film Angel City. That was one of the teams that I think as Hit Squad we wanted to get more into. We got to film their juniors, the A-listers, blockbusters. We went to film West Coast out there in Ventura. But I think after that, the last bout that we got to film was the short shots of Angel City versus SoCal. And then the A-listers versus the delinquents of San Diego. After that, I think we kind of agreed we needed a break. Like, we were kind of burnt out from all the driving. And then also, most of you guys know, we have a CEO. And I'm not saying that we ignore our CEO, because our CEO is usually with us when we go film. But I felt that we missed a lot of time being a family. And that's another reason why Hit Squad started, because this was something that we can do as a family. And I think we just needed, and we still need, and we're still going through it, we need a little bit of time off. And to be a family, to go visit friends, to go visit family, to go do normal family stuff. You know, that's something that I think we did last week was our first week of not doing anything Hit Squad related. And I gotta tell you, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I got to sit there and watch a Golden State game. That was fun. Are you serious? Golden State. 73. So that's where we're at right now on our whole growth. Oh, I see we have our CEO of HitSquadTv that just walked away. Never mind. So that's where we're at right now. We have a couple things in the works right now. Obviously, one of them being the podcast. And that's where we're pretty much going to leave you off of. Until then, my name was Lloyd Knox.
And I'm Ivy Escandalo.
Just spread your wings so we can fly, baby. Let's get out.